great cataclysm has shattered more than just the world. War Chief Thrall, arguably the most powerful living shaman, has left his people behind so that he might stop the cataclysm at its source. Yet, in his absence, the Orc champion Garrosh Hellscream has become the Horde's new war chief. Though popular amongst the Orcs for his victories against the Lich King, Garrosh's reckless leadership has begun to cause a rift between himself and the other leaders of the Horde. With Durotar's natural resources nearly depleted, Garrosh seeks to take whatever his people need to survive, regardless of who stands in his way. A dangerous new era for the Horde has dawned, and it falls to brave Orcs like you to uphold the will of the new war chief and assure the dominance of your people.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is DeathByLemmings, and welcome to my first video in a series that I'm doing, which is going to be leveling this little fella called Rartoth, the manliest of orcs. Look at him, Rartoth. And I'm just going to be taking him through levels 1 to 90 in this game, World of Warcraft, in case you weren't aware. And I'm just going to commentate on what's going on, and just having a good time with it, really. So first things first, I want this to be watchable by people who haven't necessarily seen World of Warcraft before. So it might be a little bit basic at times, especially at the start. But yeah, I think that's the best way for me to do it. There may be things that, if you haven't seen World of Warcraft, there may be things that don't make sense straight away, but I'll try to explain as much as I can. So, okay, right, I do not want to be spammed with, this is an invitation to a guild, and I do not want that to happen. So I'm just going to come here, block guild invites. Okay, right. So first things first, World of Warcraft is an MMORPG, which is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. As you can see, there are a lot of people around, far more than I was anticipating, but that's absolutely fine. And these people here, and this person on a dragon, and this person running around with a bow, is why I love this game. The fact that there's lots of other people running around, often working towards a similar goal, sometimes just, as you can see here, dancing, just for no apparent reason. So yeah, I've been playing World of Warcraft on and off for years. I haven't played so much in the past 2 years after the release of Cataclysm, which was the third expansion. As of recording, we're in Mists of Pandaria right now, which is the 4th expansion. And I haven't really played WoW properly for quite a while, so I thought I'd get back into it. And what a better way than getting back into it than leveling up a hunter, a class that I've never leveled to max level before, and doing a little YouTube series based upon it and starting my own channel. So, first things first, aim. This bar up in the top left that's currently empty and says 0 out of 400. It's your experience bar. So you want to fill this up. Every time you do, you gain a level. You got to fill this up, 89 times, so you get to the max rank, max level rather, level 90. And then you're a super powerful dude who's like the hero of the Horde, and all of that is awesome. And the way you do this is by killing things and questing. And so this guy here stood in front of me, Caltunk. This little exclamation mark means that he's got a quest for me, so let's see what he's got to do. So your place in the world. Okay, so something about coming of age. He's laughing at me, not too happy with that. So he's saying here, report to Gornek, he should be able to assign a better task suited to a young hunter. Find him seated at the fire. So we go. Then we hand in this quest here with a little question mark above him, and we get a nice bit of experience increasing this bar here. So that's the basis of what you're going to see me do. Over the levels I'll acquire more skills, abilities, and loot. So he's given us a quest to go kill 6 boars. Go kill 6 boars, and then I get a nice shiny belt at the end of it, or whatever I choose, but I'm going to choose the belt. Right, so let's go. Let's start off with what the hunter class is. Hunters are a ranged class, so they use a bow or a gun or a crossbow to kill their targets, well, at range, so they're not, stood toe to toe. So as you can see, if I right click something, I'll fire a couple arrows, my boar will charge in. And that's the other part of the hunter. They have pets. So my pet here, Boar, which is just not a good name. What's a good name for a pig? Let's rename him. That's the wrong one. Rename Philip. We will continue our journeys with Philip at our side. Attack Philip! Okay, good. So yeah, hunters utilize pets, and this is basically to counter the fact that they are a ranged class. So it gives something for whatever I'm attacking to attack that isn't me, because hunters having the ranged advantage means that they aren't the most survivable if somebody does come up to them, start beating them in the face. So what my pet does, he'll charge in when I shoot, and he'll cause a taunt which forces the other boar in this situation to attack my pet rather than me. And as I said, I've never leveled a hunter to max level before. I'm not really sure particularly why. I mean, it's not that I have a particular problem with the hunter class. I don't know, I guess, well, I played rogue for years, so yeah, if that tells anyone about what sort of player I am, then fair enough. But so ranged classes were always a bit alien to me. I could play a Death Knight, I could play a Paladin, I could play a Warrior, because they're all just walking up to someone and beating on them with sort of various implements of destruction. But ranged classes have always been slightly alien to me, mages and warlocks and whatnot. But we've killed enough boars here, so I'm just going to go back and hand this in. Ooh, look at that, right, we leveled up. Ding, ding, ding. Let's equip this nice little belt we got here. And yeah, it's basically the premise of World of Warcraft. The questing system in World of Warcraft isn't the most, I don't know, it's been around for a while, you know, it's not exactly going to be breaking any new ground, considering this game's almost, what, a decade old or something now. But it's a staple, and I can do it, and I know what I'm doing, and being able to chat along as I complete these quests will certainly make my leveling experience more enjoyable, and hopefully it will make it more enjoyable to watch than just seeing me walk around in silence. Right, so let's see what quest we've just got. We've got to kill 7 Northwatch scouts, get 6 cactus apples, which are over here, and reach level 3 to learn steady shot. So we can do that when we... Oh, it's just they're all taking my cactus apples. This is then the problem with MMOs. When I'm trying to do something and somebody else is trying to do something, they'll often do it first, which means I can't do it for a little bit, but that's okay. We will move on. So we've got to kill a load of these scouts. Yeah, I don't know. My World of Warcraft history is it? Oh yeah, hunters and things like that. As I was saying, I haven't played hunter in ages. Hunters have what's called focus. So this ability here at the bottom, if you look in the bottom right, because you can't see my mouse, but in the bottom right you can see what I'm hovering over. Arcane Shot. It says a 30 focus after the name of it. This is how much of my energy resource or ability resource, let's call it, it's going to take up. So I have 100 focus and it regenerates over time. So if you watch the bar in the top right of my screen, there's two. There's a I can't think of colours. There's a green one and an orange one. Every time I cast Arcane Shot, the orange one drops by a little bit, by 30, and it regenerates back over time. And then there will be other abilities such as Steady Shot, which we'll get in about half a level's time, which then regenerate your focus faster than it would naturally. So the hunter class is about balancing your focus bar, really, when to use it, when to make sure you have enough available that you can kill what you need to kill, while not expanding necessarily all of it, to make sure that you can still do consistent amounts of damage. Yeah, but the last time I played Hunter, the Hunter did not have focus. They had mana, much like a mage or a warlock. So that will tell you how long it's been. But I think I'm still... I mean, Hunters, they're not considered the hardest class. And I'm sorry to every Hunter I have just offended. You've got to remember I used to play Rogue, so I don't particularly have a leg to stand on when it comes to easy classes. But regardless, Hunter has always been seen, at least I'm talking leveling wise here, for leveling, fairly easy. And it makes sense. I mean, you've got something else, Philip in our case, to take all the damage for you while you just sit back, fire arrow after arrow into the face of whatever you're trying to conquer. But they used to have mana, which is the sort of magic resource, which never really made much sense, I suppose. As you know, hunters aren't particularly magical. They're more about, just shooting people. Oh no, I'm getting that cactus apple before you. Sorry, mate. I apologise, Neosh. But yeah, I'm not really that sorry. I do want to complete this quest today. Yeah. But I've always loved World of Warcraft. I've been playing World of Warcraft for... I don't know. I started playing before any expansions come out, or Vanilla WoW, as it's called. Oh, I'm stealing this guy's. I'm stealing all his cactus apples. I'm so sorry, mate. As I just got angry about someone stealing mine. But yeah, so I was playing World of Warcraft since Vanilla. I wasn't particularly good. I mean, I was 13 or something. I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just thought it looked cool and was fun to roll around, and a lot of my friends were playing it, so I thought I'd give it a go. But then the Burning Crusade came out. Okay, that guy's stolen that cactus apple. There's a lot of people around here. It's good. But then the Burning Crusade came out, which was the first World of Warcraft expansion, and that's what really caused me to fall in love with World of Warcraft. I actually managed to hit max level, which I never did in Vanilla, and was first introduced to raiding and high level PvP, and it's just so much fun. Sorry, I was just checking my map to see where I have to go to hand these in, which is silly because I know exactly where I'm going. But anyway, and World of Warcraft, it's a game that is really about the end game. So when you get to that maximum level, when you finally finish conquering everything in your way, and you get that magical level 70 or 80 or whatever expansion that you're playing at the time, because then the game really opened up, and level 3, which means I get steady shots. Cool. And yeah, I think raiding for me was what made World of Warcraft ridiculously fun, which is when you group up with anywhere from 9 other people to 39 other people, though not so much anymore, and you'll group together to kill some huge monstrous creature that in no way would you be able to kill yourself. And it was really fun, sort of having to sit down and get tactics and what each person had to be doing at each specific time. It was just a really fun experience. And then so I raided. Yeah, I did okay in Burning Crusade. Got through SSC. Oh god, Serpent Stride Cavern. That's the actual name of it. Oh, right. We just picked up my favourite starting quest ever, which is Lazy Peons. So this guy is getting pretty annoyed at the fact that his peons, which are these fellas over by the tree I've just highlighted, they're not working. They are falling asleep on the job. So basically, you are given a big stick to go around and hit them, which is, I just remember when I first got that quest, absolutely hilarious. Got to kill some scorpions as well, so we'll take them out. What was I talking about? I was talking about raiding. Yeah, I got through Serpent Stride Cavern, which was fun. Really interesting raiding back then. I'd like to, I don't know, I guess I'm sort of the mindset of a lot of World of Warcraft players, which is raiding was so much harder, it was so much more fun. I honestly couldn't tell you. It felt harder for me, but then I was much newer to the game than I was in later expansions, so I'm not sure my frame of reference is perfect for that. You'd want someone that's been that's raided everything that'd be able to tell you that. But I certainly found raiding in Burning Crusade the most satisfying. There's something really epic about going in and killing Gruul or Magtheridon and just these huge guys that looked like they'd be able to, you know, eat your whole raid group up and spit them out for breakfast if they wanted to, but because you've employed certain tactics and thought about it in a specific way, you've actually overcome that challenge, which I just think is, it's cool. Anyway, I just want to quickly comment on my ability. As you can see, I'm using Steady Shot here, which is this ability down here. And it regenerates on my focus. So, for example, if I forget, I'm not sure he'll live long enough. But if I fire off all my arcane shots at this Scorpid Worker, I can't fire anymore, but I can fire a Steady Shot. Okay, he died too early. But I can fire a Steady Shot, generate some focus, then I'll be able to use my arcane shot again for some more damage. It's just the basics of how the hunter works. This guy has a quest. Hanazua. Right, was he? Oh, kill Sarkoth. Okay, got to kill a big guy, and I happen to know exactly where he is. Are there any peons for me to... There's one. Just look, smack, get up! Love it, absolutely love it. Okay, that guy's already awake, so... yeah, then Wrath of the Lich King came out. Wrath of the Lich King was a really cool expansion. Well, at least when we heard about it and whatever. And it was a cool expansion. Because it was about Arthas and the Lich King, and two people that had played Warcraft 3 or had friends that played Warcraft 3 in my case and could explain all the lore behind it. It was really cool to get this sort of Lich King to come across, and you know, Arthas was like this saviour of the human race that then sort of got a little bit, or quite a bit, corrupted and sort of went a bit mad and killed a load of civilians, much to Jaina Proudmoore's not delight, what's the other word? The complete opposite of that. Anyway, I'm doing really well with words. It's getting quite late, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so we've got his claw. We hand that in. Level 4. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so, right. Managed to kill that guy, and need to bring back the report of what's happened. But first we need to find some peons to wake up. Because as lazy as these supposed peons are, most of them are actually awake and doing work. Ah, there's one. Oh, what are you doing, sleeping on the job? Do you see me sleeping on my job, leveling up? No, so get up. Okay, good. Oh, there's another one. I love it. It's like, I am bigger than you, therefore I will hit you with a stick until you do what I want. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, I think I'm just gonna cut across. You can't see where my mouse cursor is, by the way. So if it looks like things are randomly happening on my screen, that's because I'm clicking them. Not that I'd be clicking my abilities, of course. Oh no, we are far too skilled for that nonsense. But for example, I'm just looking around my map, making sure I'm going in the correct direction to where I know there will be a peon asleep on the job. Oh no, that's a pet. Never mind. Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King comes out. Awesome expansion. You know, you had to fight the Lich King, and he's pretty badass. I mean, coming from Illidan as well. Illidan was the main sort of enemy dude in Burning Crusade, and I didn't get to fight him in BC, which made me very sad. But I did go back in Wrath to make sure that I could at least say I've killed him on my rogue. Really cool artwork. I wish I'd done it at the time, but get up. But I couldn't. Like I wasn't good enough to get a rating. I mean, I was young as well. I sort of half knew what was going on, but still was. I would consider myself a noob back then. But yeah, Wrath of the Lich King, awesome. Rated pretty heavily. Sort of cleared content as it came out, essentially. And then halfway through Wrath of the Lich King, they do two things that really upset me as a player, as a raider. One was they implemented... Oh, grats, mate. One was they implemented the looking for group system, which, understandable. Basically, there was a problem in World of Warcraft with the fact that, oh, my gear looks so cool. Oh, just flex that out. Yeah, so they added the looking for group system, and the idea was that rather than having to go to a capital city and sitting in the general or the trade trap, trying to find people to come along and do the instance that you wanted to do, the dungeon that you wanted to do. Oh, there's a brewmaster.
How you doing,
Okay, find Hanazua. We've done that, unfortunately, but that's okay. The idea was that rather than you having to sit there and read chat and talk until you found people, you could just hit a button, say, this is what I want to do, and it'll be like, okay, well, we'll find other people that want to do the other roles that are needed. World of Warcraft uses the Holy Trinity system in MMOs, which is the idea of you have a tank, a guy that's going to sit there and soak up all the damage, a healer who will sit there and heal all the damage, and then the rest of your group will be comprised of DPS, which is damage per second, and they're just the ones doing the damage. And it is a very good system, it works very well. So you'd hit a button, it's still there, I'm sure we'll use it later. You hit a button, you say, I want to be a tank. You enter the queue, and then various matchmaking algorithms will put you up with a healer and some DPS. And then you get instantly teleported to the dungeon. And that was the problem I had with it, the fact that you got instantly teleported. Because it's called World of Warcraft. This is a world, and it's massive. And a lot of players were complaining about how long it took to get from place to place, which I completely empathise with. Like, I mean, you know, some people genuinely don't have a lot of time, free time, and after grinding all this way to level 90 over however long it would have taken them, they'd want to go do the content that is now available. That guy is running into a wall. Okay, he's out. They want to do the content that's supposed to be available to them. They don't want to sit there for half an hour finding people to do the content with, and then spend another 10-15 minutes sort of faffing about. I will steal that. Haha, hunters. Then spend another 5-10 minutes like faffing about getting everybody to the instance, and then somebody not knowing where it is, and then summoning them all. I get it, but it made the world very detached, like exceedingly detached. You no longer had to actually learn where things were. You could just hit a button and go there, and you didn't have to pay attention. And it also, I feel like it got rid of the idea of community, because it didn't matter if you were a good guy or a bad guy in this group, because you're probably never going to see those 4 other players again. Whereas beforehand, if you were to go into an instance and steal all the loot, or just generally act like a bit of a penis, people then come out of there and tell the rest of the server, hey, you know what, don't group with this guy, he's a penis. And so I didn't like the looking for group system. I understood why it was there, and you know, like, I couldn't really argue against it, but I just it wasn't as immersive as actually, you know, everyone mounting up and charging forward to a place of danger and conquering the danger. It just wasn't the same. And then the other thing they did, the real thing that they did that really annoyed me as a raider, was they brought out a raid called Trial of the Crusader, which was, I guess, it was kind of fun. The idea Blizzard was having was, hey, let's make a raid with absolutely no trash mobs, where you don't have to fight through wave upon wave of random crappy creatures that are absolutely no threat to the 25 of you, and just give you a boss, and then there's another boss, and then there's another boss. Which, again, admirable idea. They were listening to the community, I just don't think they solved it correctly. But the raid itself wasn't necessarily the problem. It was the fact that when they added that raid in, they made that raid super accessible. So because you could suddenly just go into dungeons and get the same gear as the now second tier raid at the time, Ulduar. And Ulduar was not a particularly easy raid. Okay, sure, the first boss, there were some bosses that were fairly easy, but on the whole, it was not an easy raid. And especially to get all the hard modes down and get that extra loot. Is that everything? Okay, sorry. To get the hard modes down and get all the extra loot and stuff, you know, you had to be a top guild to be able to do that. And Trial of the Crusader comes out, and suddenly everyone's ready for it. Everyone's got geared for it. They haven't been through the other raids. They've got rid of all barriers to entry on raids. And again, while I understand they did it, people wanted to access the content, and the latest content, it was silly, because by allowing those people to access the latest content, you're allowing them to skip other content. And if you're letting them skip other content, they're going to run out of things to do. And that's essentially what happened. And as a raider, as someone who had sat there for the past, couple months or whatever, going through Ulduar and fighting the bosses and doing the hard modes and deliberately creating more of a challenge than was necessary in order to improve, you know, my quality of gear and things like that, to then just have it all invalidated, it just kind of felt like, oh well, thank you, Blizzard. So I wasn't too happy. I played till the end of the Wrath of the Lich King just because I was so invested in it at that point. But that's when I started having problems with World of Warcraft. And Cataclysm comes out and continues very similar themes, and I don't know, I did the first tier of raiding on it, and then Firelands came out, and I wasn't particularly interested. Sorry, that was an extremely long rant, but I feel telling you my background on World of Warcraft is there. I hope it's interesting. I don't know. It might have just been me rambling for 15 minutes about stuff I don't like in WoW, which probably isn't very entertaining, but I'll keep it to the minimum. Ooh, there we go, level 5. We are not doing badly at all. How long have we played so far? Oh wow, 26 minutes. I am rambling. I will shut up. Right, let me just explain what we're doing here. We've been sent by some quest givers back at old base camp over there to go sort out this cave. As you can see, it is ridden with imps and fell stalkers, which are these weird lizard things that you see me kill. And more importantly, it has been infested by this guy who's already dead, so I need to wait for the respawn timer on that. He should respawn soon. But Yarog Bane Shadow. Let's just read the quest text. Ooh, through my divinations, I see an item of power. A medallion hides deep within the Burning Blade Coven, guarded by beasts and black magic. We must have it. For too long these demon worshippers have defiled our homelands. Cleanse the Coven of this demonic taint by slaying the fell beasts and their leader. Return with this medallion as proof of your deed. Go, Rartoth, you will find the Coven in the cave to the north. Two things about that. I don't know if it's Coven or Coven. I hope I said that right. Secondly, this quest text is incredibly apt. What does it say here? For too long these demon worshippers have defiled our homeland. These guys have been in this cave since like the start of World of Warcraft, like almost a decade ago, and they're clearly very good at being in this cave, because no matter how many millions of people come through and clear it out, they just kind of come back. So yeah, it's quite apt. I can see why we are being given a quest to try and remove them, because clearly nothing else is working. Oh, no, there he is. Right. Fire! Just to take him down. The flurry of abilities. Sweet. Got the medallion. Now we gotta go kill some fellstalkers. Now there's one up there, so it's a little bit of WoW platforming, which often just involves finding things you're not meant to be able to jump on and jumping on them, and I don't think this is going to work, is it? No. I'm just going to run around and stop looking like an absolute moron. Yeah, so kill 4 more fellstalkers. We'll be all good. Oh, there's one. Taste my steel. I don't have a target. That's a Hearthstone quote, not a World of Warcraft or whatever. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same company. Yeah, Hearthstone. That's a fun game. I'll certainly play a bit of that if people are interested. I'm not particularly good. You wouldn't learn much from watching me, so I'd kind of have to rely on my commentary skills, which I assume are going to be fairly lacking for a little bit. I mean, it would be awesome if I am immediately good at this, but I'm not going to run with the assumption that I am. Oh, yes, there's one towards the exit, which is useful because we need to go that way. Yeah, this is all extremely new to me, this YouTubing thing, clearly, this being my first video evers. Just going to, let's put that on my bars. Just going to use my Hearthstone here. Hearthstone allows me to return to a set location that I can choose to set instantly on a short cooldown, so that's alright. Yeah, I'm very new to this, so, you know, any comments saying what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what you'd like to see me do in the game. I mean, for the most part, I was thinking of sticking to leveling, but I can do PvP. I can do some instances. When we hit max level, we can do some raids if that's what you want to see. Report to Senjin Village. I think we're done here. I think we have successfully completed this starting zone. That's good, and good because it's a good time to stop. But yeah, anything you want to see me do, or you know, are interested in seeing within this game, then I'll be happy to go do it. But for the most part, that's a big dragon. For the most part, I think we are just going to bust around, dancing like MC Hammer. He's got some skills. Look at him. Look at him to moonwalking. Oh damn, he got skills. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. I was just basically planning to sort of go along with it. It's a bit of an experiment, really. So yeah, that'll cover our first episode of Rartoth, the Orc Hunter. We're off to Senjin Village, which I can show you on the map. We're here right now, so we're just going to be down there. The next video I'll probably have teleported over there magically, because no one wants to see me run. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you do come back to see what happens to Rartoth in our adventures. And yeah, hope you have a very good day.